to be? What's a cup of tea? What's mushy pea? What's the biggie thing? What's all this then?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to What's All This Then? It's a podcast about the United Kingdom with new episodes every Monday and bonus episodes every Thursday. In the most recent Finest episode, me and Libby took another dive into the post box and answered a bunch of your listener questions, such as when was the last time we wrote a handwritten letter? Who would have to die in order for us to record an emergency episode of the podcast? Percy Pig. And do British people really say cunt that much? If you want to hear the answers to those questions and more, and get access to all of our previous bonus episodes and video episodes as well, with no ads, patreon.com/what's all this then is the place to go. But today on the show, Libby.
Oh my god,
the music.
you're not doing it right away.
Libby,
Okay,
your first
so
up.
this is okay, so I think the category here is things that I say about the podcast.
Okay, well, I do need to probably establish it for the audio-only listeners. We're starting here. Well, the first clue is, I'll figure it out on the day. Now, because this is only connecting, you have guessed.
Yep.
Instead of saying, I don't know the answer, can I see the next one? Because that's not how this game works.
Charlotte, I wanted 5 points.
You wanted 5 points. Well, you're not going to
I
get
wanted
it.
5 points. Okay.
Because that is not the category, which means, Josh, you can steal. You get to see all of the answers here. So here are all 4 clues for you. I'll figure it out on the day. Fuck, I have no ideas. Do I have time to write a parody song? I'll just format it like a question from the show. What is the category?
Is it things that you were thinking when you tried to put this question together?
You know what? That's so close. I'm going to give it to you. The stages of writing an intro for the Only Connect episode is the answer. I don't know how many points you get for that, but that's fine. We'll figure it out later. I'm Charlotte McDonald, and I'm joined as always by my wonderful co-host. It's Libby Watson.
Hello, Charlotte. That was really good. I have some really sad news for you.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, unfortunately, Percy Pig's wife has died.
No.
Yes. What's her fucking name again?
Not Petunia Pig.
Percy Pig wife. Percy Pig wife.
Penny? Penelope?
Penny, that's right. Penny Pig. Imagine I remembered who Penny Pig was and said Penny Pig has died, and so we need to record an emergency episode about that. So we basically can't do the Only Connect episode because we have to remember our memories of Penny Pig.
I remember when Penny Pig when she was first on a packet of Percy Pigs with Percy, and they were just having their burgeoning relationship. I remember when I found out they got married on a different packet of Percy Pigs. I remember the one that strongly implied that they were having sex in that barn. That was really good. So many fond memories. I remember all of the kids they have as well that we ate. All of their lovely little kids, the Percy Piglets. So many wonderful times.
I remember when the Daily Mirror published a picture of her coming out of a nightclub where you could see her clunge. I thought that was really unfortunate that they did that. They shouldn't have done that.
That's not nice. No, well, she shouldn't have been wearing a skirt that short. Yeah. You know?
Well, it's true.
Violation of her privacy. Absolutely disgusting.
Her pig privacy, yeah. And her pig privates, honestly.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Josh, do you know what we're talking about? Do you know what Percy Pigs is?
The candy.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, Josh is an expert.
I guess I am. I don't know if I'm an expert. I spend a fair bit of time in the UK, and I've worked for a British company for a little while. I go over every so often because I've got friends there, and in the podcasting world as well as just friends more broadly. So I have gotten stuck in crew trying to change trains. Like I know a thing or two about the UK.
Yeah, that's very legit. Charlotte, why don't you introduce our guest so that I can grill him about the UK a little bit?
Okay, yeah, let's do that. Today on the show, a writer, podcast host, and a theatre director, which is so fancy. That's such a fancy thing to be. He co-hosts the podcast The Worst of All Possible Worlds and Ill-Conceived, and you can also catch him on the Twitch stream Traditional Scrinch. Josh Boerman, welcome to the show, and good morning to you, good sir.
Hey, I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. All right. So you were in the UK pretty recently, right?
Yeah, I was there in August for Edinburgh Fringe, actually. I took a show over. Yeah.
Okay, so first of all, how was that?
I didn't love it, if I'm being honest.
Okay, shit. I'm really sorry about that. That's
me too.
My fault. Mm-hmm.
No, I actually do like Edinburgh. The city is beautiful. So much to do, so much to see. So what's wrong with taking the back streets? The problem is that during Fringe, there are too many people. And not only are there too many people, there are too many people who are trying too hard, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And so there's just this feeling of desperation in the air that's really difficult to deal with, especially if you're there for an entire month. And I wasn't even there for the whole month. I was there for 3 weeks.
Yeah, that's the stench of sweaty desperation on the air must be quite overwhelming. I've never been there during Fringe, and I don't think I will ever have any reason to be there during Fringe, nor to interact with Fringe. What were you doing at Fringe?
Directing a show. So it was a friend's solo show and really brilliant show, actually. It was called The Boy from Bantai, just about his time growing up in the Philippines, becoming a pianist, his relationship with his family, classic solo show stuff. And it ended up doing... We didn't sell as many tickets as I would have liked, but it did seem to find its audience, especially toward the end. And he won an award. So,
that's great.
Yeah.
All right.
What award? Because I know about all of them, and I know how important they all are. Sorry, I had to make while I said that.
He won Best Performer in the Asian Arts Award, which is an award for Asian performers at Fringe.
Yeah,
wonderful.
Well, that rocks. Yeah, I mean that's got to be validating, at least, to have spent three weeks having a bad time. But now I'm going to ask you the important question, which is: did you buy any meal deals while you were there?
Oh yeah, no, I was at the Sainsbury's. I was getting the fucking, and I was drinking a lot of Irn Bru too.
Oh, okay, interesting. Because I tried Irn Bru while I was there, and I really did not like it.
Okay, did you have the regular formulation or they have because the regular formulation it has caffeine and no sugar?
Yeah, that sounds right. I got it at a pub, which is kind of crazy because they were like. They just had Irn Bru on the menu, and my sister-in-law, who doesn't drink, ordered it for a laugh, and so I tried it, and I thought it was shite.
Yeah, they also offer, I don't like it, but they also offer something called Irn Bru 1901, which I guess is more like the original recipe, and it is made with real sugar, and it doesn't have caffeine, and it tastes like bubblegum, and it's fucking delicious.
Okay, well, this is all I really, I have tried it, and it was just like drinking candy. And I was like, well, this is delicious, but I also don't think I could, it's not something I could go for all the time. It feels like when it comes to like soda, it's like the most obvious about how much sugar is actually in the thing, which I do appreciate.
Yeah, that is a problem. I mean, I'm drinking a Coke Zero right now, so I can't really talk from a position of much superiority. I'd like to know what your ideal meal deal build is.
Oh, God.
Like, imagine the shelves are perfectly stocked. There's not been a run on the bacon ones or anything like that.
It's got to be like a turkey bacon sandwich. And I mean, if I'm in Scotland, I'm getting the Irn Bru with it if that's offered as part of the meal deal.
Sure. That makes sense. When in Rome, you do the Roman thing, and when in Scotland, you have Irn Bru and. The Roman, I don't fucking know, Charlotte.
Roman
Maybe
Irn Bru. Come on, Libby. What is the Roman Irn Bru? Think.
Okay, the Roman Irn Bru is shagging your friends at the bathhouse. How's
Let's go.
I think they did that, right?
They probably did that.
Yeah, that, and then they had a little bit of a vomit, and then they went back for more.
Or like, I don't know, Ribena, maybe.
Now that is a
Ribena's
very
great.
sophisticated pick.
Well, what can I say? I'm sophisticated guy.
Yeah, you ever have the strawberry Ribena? That was my fave.
Oh, I haven't had one. I've only had like regular Ribena.
Oh, I loved strawberry. I would always get strawberry Ribena and a packet of tomato snaps from the vending machine in the leisure centre in Banbury, which was called Spice Ball, which Lewis always thinks is the funniest fucking thing when we drive past Spice Ball and he's like, oh, there's Spice Ball. Totally normal name for a fucking swimming pool. I think we did Google it in the end, and it's something to do with a type of sausage that was sold.
What about you? What is your clutch meal deal? Like, what are you going for?
Yeah, this is a good question. So we did get one when I was back. We got one or two. We got one from the co-op. I don't remember what I got. I would often go for like when I was in sixth form. The school was walking distance from a Sainsbury's, so we would often go to Sainsbury's and get our lunches. And I would do. They had the like southern fried chicken wrap. Was big. Mm-hmm. I also really liked they had this tomato pasta salad as a side. I really liked that. I think if I tried it now, I would find I'm actually now recalling the flavor of it in my mind. And even now I know this was not good. This was not good. It has a almost metallic taste.
Unfortunate.
I think anything you get as part of a meal deal does have the meal deal taste, which is a specific flavor that is created just from like the alchemy of just the sandwich or whatever the main is just being in the fridge out for a few days.
Yes.
It tastes like a meal deal, and
it's
you can't
sort of
recreate that.
It's sort of like the Subway flavor, where like no matter what you get from Subway, it's gonna taste like Subway.
Yes, absolutely. I was thinking also of like a fast food fryer flavor. Say that 5 times fast. We got Del Taco recently, and everything slightly tasted of fryer oil.
Yep. Or shit you buy off the rollers at 7-Eleven. Same thing.
Yes, that's very true. I've only had a 7-Eleven hot dog once, I think, and it was at TwitchCon because I was just so hungry, and it was when I was there to cover it for Defector, and I was so busy and so hungry. All I could do was like, because the Las Vegas Convention Center is fucking hell on earth, and quite literally, it was like 97 degrees or something outside, and very far from everything. So it was either wait in line in the convention center for convention center food or go to 7-Eleven and get a hot dog. And honestly, kind of good.
I'll fuck with a big bite for sure.
Yeah.
I can't stop thinking about being like a wine guy, but for like the particular tastes from different like places where you get food that has been left out for a long time. Like what is the co-op? What is you're sniffing like your chicken Caesar wrap that you get from the co-op and being like, yes, the co-op has the mothball taste. I'm picking that up here. I feel like that could be a kind of guy. That's a new kind of guy I just invented. You could be that kind of guy if you're listening.
I now want to be that guy. I'm trying to recall the Sainsbury's flavors, and I'm definitely getting like chicken that tastes like it had a bad life. Chicken that almost somehow has an egg flavor to it, like because the meat is bad.
Yes,
in that sort of way.
Wet.
Slightly, wet.
I'm tasting wet. The taste of wet.
The bread is like, yes, the bread is moist for some reason. Normally, you don't want your bread moist, but this bread is gonna be moist.
Yeah. It's not moist in the way that you would want like a sort of soft burger bun to be or anything, it's more wet. It's clammy is what it is. The bread is clammy.
Yes.
There's a clam to it. There's a clam to it.
You have to kind of peel it out from the shell, you know?
Oh, yeah. I don't know why I like thinking about the meal deal so much. It's just funny. It's just funny how many of the nation's calories it's providing on any given day when it is shit.
But it's a good deal, is the thing.
We do love a deal. Yeah.
We love a deal, and the nature of the deal is it will counteract the fact that it's a bit shit, and also the fact that I eat meal deals so often that it just becomes normal. Like your baseline of what lunch should and can be is just it's just lower when you're just living the meal deal life, and I don't know if that's necessarily a bad thing.
And I would argue that in the case of Sainsbury's specifically, it's not so much a deal as the illusion of a deal, because by the time you get done with it, it's like, that was awful. I don't know why I did that.
Yes, very true. I mean, like, Pret takes a lot of shit for being the more expensive, not even having a meal deal, I think, but being the more expensive way to get what is essentially the same sandwich that you would get at Tesco, but a bit better. But I still think your money is better invested in at least the sort of placebo effect of Pret's nicer vibes.
I remember going to London and having Pret for the first time, and this was before they came over to the US. And then I went to DC and I had American Pret, and it's more expensive and it's not as good.
Yes. Thank you. Okay, so we did this as our Doughboys restaurant when we went in May, and I used to get Pret a lot when I was, well, not a lot, but like a fair amount when I had jobs in DC that meant like working on around K Street and all of that.
Oh yeah, God, shite. Yeah, yep.
And it really is different. I'd like to, next time I go to the UK, I'd like to try Pret again, and see if it. I don't remember if I went. I think I maybe went. Charlotte, can you remember if I went when I was there in May, right when we started the podcast?
I don't think you did.
No, I think I walked into one.
You hit Greg's for sure, but I don't know if Pret was like high up on the list of places to go. But for me, it is. I really like the Pret here in Toronto was not great. And sort of made me question just the nature of like the ready-to-go sandwich sort of inherently, because I always thought it's weird that you don't have that as much here. And then I had one for the first time in years, and I was like, okay, it makes sense. We don't have these as much here.
Yeah, for sure.
But I ate so much fucking Pret when I lived in London, so I probably would eat it a lot next time I go back to the UK, I think. Especially... I mean, I do think. Well, it's October now, which means we're one fun holiday away from starting to think about Christmas, and I do think the Christmas meal deal is actually very special. The like prepackaged like turkey stuffing sandwich, and the one I got from Pret, especially, it's the best time of the year for me. I love that shit.
So speaking of, you mentioned Greg's, and I guess as long as we're talking deals, that has to be a part of the conversation, right? Because I made the assertion, somewhat facetiously, but also I kind of believe it, that like part of the reason that everybody in Britain drinks so much beer is that it's like one of the only good ways to get like reliable calories that taste okay. And somebody came into my replies and was like, how about Greg's? And I was like, how about Greg's? What are you talking about?
That's not passing the sniff test for me. I mean, look, nobody would say the thing about Greg's is that it tastes good. I would say it's possible to think of it as a source of reliable calories that at least taste the same. If that's what you're after,
consistent calories.
Yeah, exactly. Yes,
familiar calories. Yeah.
I did have a sausage roll from Greg's when I was there, and it did hit the spot. So maybe there is a sort of a brain worm that you get, probably an actual physical worm that you get from consuming a Greg's sausage.
Sure.
When
you just
you're
become
a kid.
RFK Jr. After eating that delicious sausage roll. Yeah.
Yeah. And the little worm in my head is going, ooh, wouldn't it be nice to have another Greg's? Should we go and get another Greg's? Ooh, isn't it nice? Ooh, pastry's very flaky, isn't it? Yeah. Of course it is. No, I do think it's the familiarity thing. Look, it's like how we don't understand how Americans can enjoy Hershey's.
Right. To be fair, neither do I.
Right. But it's a sort of a familiarity thing where it tastes different than how it ought to taste because of the memories and the context and everything. I do not think that person wins that argument. I think you're right about the beer. Did you have any real ale?
I have had a real ale. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of it. But I did try it once just to sort of see what the deal was.
Yeah, it's shite, isn't it?
Seems like you got it.
Warm flat beer, I don't get the appeal.
I know. I mean, look, I came to beer late in life, but there is like no better beer to me in my mind than like the big sort of outrageously cold, like, you know, Miller High Life, or
Yes.
you know, obviously in the best circumstances, but even like a Bud Light or a Coors Light after a big hike or on a hot summer day,
or
you know, and
after going skiing, you get down, you're done with a good day skiing, you get a real frosty one. Oh, it's the best.
Yeah. I was just saying to Charlotte that I'm firm in my belief that beer is hydrating, and anyone who says otherwise is just, they're capping, because it is.
They don't understand the science,
They don't understand the science, and this is a very scientific podcast. Yeah, we know the beer science. Yeah. No, I think real ale is, I mean, I talked about it when I went on Guys, and did my own research by going to a place in LA that sold real ale.
That's fucked. What?
Can you believe? Can you imagine being like...
Why?
I know. Why? And like, I do think that place... it's always on the verge of closing. I think it still exists. I don't know if it still has a real ale focus, because they had other good beers. You know, it was a brewery that was like, and we're the ones that do real ales. Yeah. And I'm sure there's a market for it, but...
I mean, I guess in LA, you've probably still got enough English people who want it that you could make it work, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there are fucking loads of English people here, because if you are British and have enough money to move abroad, and especially if you have enough money to move to California... They're all going to fucking Santa Monica, Santa Barbara. They want the warmth. They are like lizards that just want to lie out in the sun and become leathery in their final years. And I didn't do that, by the way. I'm not one of those guys. I'm a different type of one of those people, just so you know.
Thank you for the clarification. Yeah, I don't see you moving to Spain and going to that weird fucking like colony. What's that place called in Spain where it's like just nothing but English people?
Benidorm.
Is that it?
There's multiple. Is the thing. We talked about this with Gabrus. It was like there's so many places where they go and where the locals are constantly trying to enact laws to prevent English people from moving there, existing, drinking, anything they can do to get rid of them. But yeah, Benidorm is one. Obviously, like Ibiza. There's another one that I don't remember. I found out a bunch of these, and they keep finding new places to ruin. They keep slithering along to new bits, and not even just in Spain, in Greece, and in the like the Baltic region as well. You'll get these places where British lads discover you can fly there for like 28 quid. And stay in a hotel for £10 a night and get absolutely fucking trashed.
We did actually on the Scrunch one time, we did spend an entire stream just going on YouTube and searching for the phrase lads on tour and just watching videos. That was a good stream.
Okay, so I did do that when we did our episode about lad culture with Gabrus. I did type in many variations on lads on tour, and I found this absolutely fucking vile video from a guy whose thing was saying Benidorm is the only place where Britain still exists. You can go to Benidorm, it's the only place where you're allowed to be British, where you're allowed to be proud to be British. I truly hate them.
Okay, I want to open up the conversation real quick because Josh, it's clear you know and have a lot of experience with the United Kingdom.
Yeah,
and there's just one question to ask, which is, do you like us?
It's a complicated question. That's like asking if I like America. It's a little different, obviously, because I am an American, and I mean, yes, I do. I like Brits. I really do. At the end of the day, I when I was a kid, I was like an honest to goodness Anglophile. And that was the I idealized England, right? But I'd never been. And then it was actually in college that I went over for the first time. This was a theater trip. That was like an interim period. But basically, what my school did was like there were 2 semesters, and then there was a January semester. And so one of the January semester options was to go over to the UK and see some theater. So I did that. Met some great folks during that time and just kind of kept coming back. I ended up working for a British company for a little while there. And so I went over to the London office every so often. just met a lot of folks online as well. And then obviously now I co-host a stream twice a week with some Brits. So like, I wouldn't be doing this shit if I didn't like Brits. I really do at the end of the day. But God damn, you people are frustrating sometimes.
Speak more on this.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I mean, in a work context, there is a big culture difference between UK work culture and US work culture.
Okay.
Now, this is interesting because I don't think we've really had anyone on who can speak to this. So I would love to hear more.
Well, there's a passivity to it, right? It's that characteristic British. It reads as passivity to an American, right? It's not actually passivity, but it's a lack of immediacy and directness, because Americans are so immediate and so direct all the time, right? Where's the thing? Do the thing. Blah, 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 blah. Whereas with British people and the British mode of communication, there's a lot that is left to assumption because it's assumed that you're going to be on the same page. And if you're not on the same page, you are going to be sort of like lightly ostracized until you figure it out. And that's just very different from the American way of doing things.
Yes, we call it the autist's nightmare, where you're just constantly having to figure out layers of implication. And hey, it's sort of why I am so anxious, I think, is growing up around a lot of those people where you really did have to be constantly interpreting not only how they feel about you and the situation, but whether your interpretation is right. It's just a second guessing type of culture.
Okay. What I'm realizing is I just thought that's how all work worked. Having only ever done work in the UK and in Los Angeles, where I do think there is an incredibly similar mode when it comes to people working in film and television.
Yes.
And finding people who are just going to be real and straightforward with you is like, that's like, those are the special people you want to like focus all of your attention on, because there is a lot of, we assume we're on the same page in that world as well.
And
I think that's one of the reasons that I've always preferred theater. Because theater people have to be direct in that way, because if you're not, something's going to get missed.
Right.
And because of the nature of live theater, the fact that we are all making this thing together and that there is a limited amount of time and we all have to come together in a physical place for rehearsal and then again every night to put on a show. If those things are not clear and something gets missed, the show can't happen.
Right. Interesting. I feel like I've heard the sort of opposite thing from one person who is British and works in the UK but has a lot of American colleagues, where the Americans, if someone has a bad idea, the Americans will be like, that's really interesting. We'll return to that. And, you know, we'll think about that. And the British people will be like, what? No, that's shit. I don't know if that is true. But again, a lot of this could just be dependent on individual work culture. And that is one of the many reasons why having a proper job fucking sucks, because you just can't know that stuff until you start working there. And then you find out, oh no, this is horrible.
And that was one of the things too about, like, I don't know, work culture and work differences. The fact that the company that I was working for was a fairly well-established British company that was starting up in the US. And I was one of the first employees working on the US side of the pond, meant that we were repeatedly having to tell the home office, like, not the home office.
Not the home office. You don't want to be talking to them at all. If you're talking to them, you're already fucked,
that, you know, there are things that need to be done differently. We are different and we have a different way of doing things, and you need to understand that. And it took a very long time to get that through. And I think some of that is just being human, honestly, being like, you know, we've done it and we know how things are done. But there is something very fucking British about being like, oh, we know how things are done. We really know how things are done. We have our rules, we have our regulations, we have our ways of doing things, and they work very fucking well. What do you mean they don't work well?
Yeah. That makes sense. Well, I shan't be doing a proper job as long as I can fucking help it. So hopefully I won't have to find all this out. I mean, my experience with American work has been like mostly media and non-profits, which I think are a little different than working in, like, you know, the private sector. Definitely a lot more lot more people complaining, and also almost all my jobs were unionized, which does make a difference.
I would say that complaining is one thing that is maybe the most consistent part of work, just in general. So I'm not sure that there was necessarily more complaining in the nonprofit sector. It might just be that the complaining was more warranted because everybody is overworked and underpaid. Whereas when I was like working like a job for a company where I was making some decent money, I would hear the things that people were complaining about, and I'd be like, "Get fucking real, dude."
That's really funny. Yeah. Basically, if you have a real job and you're listening to the podcast, shut up and give us your money.
Yeah,
okay?
come on.
You can afford to join the Patreon, right? Also get in touch because I've not really thought about the differences between UK and US work culture, and this is actually something I want to know. I want to know if people have specific experiences doing a bit of both. Please get in touch because I'm suddenly extremely interested in this. But I will say for right now, speaking of things British people think, should we do our first segment, Libby?
Please. Tea's quite nice. What happened to Noel Edmonds? EastEnders. Bloody raining again. How do they make Scotch eggs? Did they finish Brexit or what? That's right, Charlotte.
British Thought of the Week.
And it's me
This week I'm doing the British Thought of the Week. I'm doing
Libby's
It's
British
Libby's.
Thought.
It's Libby's British Thought of the Week. This week's British Thought of the Week. And I'm going to remember to look up who sent it to us because I'm sure multiple people did, but I'm going to remember now to say it at the top of the episode, or rather at the top of the segment, rather than waiting until the end. And it was, of course.
We all know and love them.
Shit.
You can do it, Libby.
No, I can't.
I believe in you.
Oh, no. And it's not in the fucking Instagram. Oh, shit. Fuck.
Well, the reason we're doing this one is because you said like 3 or 4 people said.
Yeah, fuck it. Hey, if you sent this to us, thank you. This week's British Thought of the Week is who cheated at the Stone Skimming Championships? We don't know. I'll say it up front. We don't know because they won't say who their name. Well,
there's no resolution to the story, Libby.
The Stone Skimming Championships know who cheated and they have been disqualified, but they won't share their names. So
I didn't hear about this.
I know, isn't it awful? So every year on the island of Easdale, off the coast of Scotland, it's a tiny, tiny little island which seems to have mostly been formed, or some of it has been formed by slate mining activity, which is how they have such great stones for skimming, because slate is very flat and layered and smooth.
Okay, yeah.
It's an island of about 60 permanent residents and 1 pub. And every year they have the World Stone Skimming Championships, where there is a sort of flooded slate quarry, I think, that they use for skimming stones. And they see who's best at it, who can skim the furthest. Not who does the most skips, but who can skim the furthest.
Oh,
okay, so
distance
they're not
based.
All right, they're not counting their little jumps.
It's not the number of skims, but you obviously need a lot of skims to get.
Well, of course,
to get there. So basically, the rules are that you have to use a stone that has been naturally formed on the island of Easdale to compete.
Okay,
and
so you can like go there and look for your perfect stone in advance of the championships and find
That's
the
exactly
one
right.
for you. Whoa.
And I'm going to show you the measuring tool they use to make sure that they are of regulation size. I believe it is less than 3 inches. And they've got this hole that they use. They've got a hole. They've got a special hole that they put the stones through to make sure that they are smaller than.
Oh my god! I love too that this tool is engraved with the words "Easdale Island, the world of skimming." The world of skimming. What does it say?
I think it is the World Stone Skimming Championship.
The World Stone Skimming, of course.
Okay.
Yes.
yes. It's a very nice custom job that they've got here. I'm not sure. I'm looking at it and I'm trying to think what else you could ever use this for. It looks sort of like you could maybe use it to open a really, really, really big bottle. You know?
Yeah. You
like a giant bottle of beer.
The world's thickest noodle through this.
Oh,
yeah. Ooh, that would be fucking just an absolute log of udon. That would be delicious. And look how beautiful, by the way, those stones are. Don't they look nice?
Beautiful stone. That Scotland, one of the things that it's known for is its beautiful stones. That's where they get all the stones for curling as well.
Yes, that is true, isn't it? Yeah. There's an account on Instagram that I really like following, whose name I believe is Scottish Geologist, and she posts these reels of her. I'm
laughing because I think you brought up Scottish Geologist before, and you were just like, but she's also really hot.
She is hot. She's gorgeous.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. She's great. And she'll go out hiking to some, amazing rock formation in Scotland, and she'll point at these guys, and she'll go, like, what's the deal with these rocks? I'm gonna tell you, they're millions and millions of years old. She's just fucking great. I just love listening to her so much.
That sounds wonderful.
Is this the lady who's at Scottish Geologist? Or?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah. She's great. Anyway, so
a quick question, Josh. Did you Google this before or after I said that she's really hot?
After.
Okay, cool. Thank you for being honest.
Of course. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not here to lie to you.
And so it says that. Sorry. So apparently some of the other competitors who didn't cheat, some of the proper, good people, noticed that something was amiss and alerted Kyle Matthews, who is one of the organizers and the official toss master.
Yes.
And I want to shout out this bloke for we've talked about cheating at these silly events before when we talked about the Conquer Championships and King Conquer, who allegedly brought his own metal conker to smash other people's conkers.
He did bring the thing is he did have the metal conker. The question was he actually using it in the competition or not?
Sure.
And we should say, because if we're going to bring him up, all right, he's been found it was fine. He wasn't using the metal conker in the actual championships. There's been a thorough investigation.
Okay,
he did
good
win.
to know.
Okay.
Yeah, conkers was one of those where when it was explained to me for the first time, I was like, you're fucking winding me up. What are you talking about?
It's a Hobbit sport for sure. Yeah, it's not. It really feels like it's not a real thing. But there was an air of sort of, I don't know. I wasn't totally satisfied with what we read about the Conquer investigation. And King Conquer, insisted that he didn't cheat. He only had the metal conker to amuse children. But it really.
Oh, brother!
I know. I wasn't really satisfied with all of that. However, I really like the attitude of everybody involved in the stone skimming. Oh, now scone skimming, I could do that. Scone skimming.
No, I'm trying to not say scone stimming, and that's really
scone stimming. That's what I do for sure. Yeah.
Scone.
I really like everyone's attitude. So Kyle Matthews, who's the tossmaster, when asked about the New York Times, by the New York Times about this thing, said, "It only shows how keen people are to win this trophy. In many ways, it's flattering." I think that's really nice. The people who were accused of cheating immediately admitted that they had cheated and accepted that they would be retroactively disqualified from this year's competition. I think that's really nice. Lucy Wood, who holds I'm quoting the New York Times here, who holds the Guinness World Record for the most wins of the Women's World Stone Skimming Championship, and who claimed her 6th title this year in Scotland. So
wow. Is she the GOAT? Is she the best to ever do it?
I think she might be the best to ever do it. She said she was impressed with how smoothly the matter was resolved. You wouldn't get that in a lot of sports, she said. I think it's really nice that everyone's just sort of like, oh, that's a shame someone cheated. Oh well, I guess that just goes to show that everyone really wants to do our little sport. Isn't that nice?
That is nice. Okay, do we know how they cheated? Because I'm trying to think how I would cheat at this.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't make that clear. They brought their own stones.
They just brought their own stones.
Again, we don't have a lot of details. We don't have a lot of details about how they cheated. It's
so
just
the identities of the cheaters have been protected. That's another thing I think is quite nice about this whole thing.
Well, because in our world of social media vitriol, Charlotte, you could imagine the Instagram comments. Someone posts a picture of their cat and they're like, "You fucking twat! You cheated at stone skimming! I'm gonna fucking kill you."
I did find the New York Times article about this, and I have this fantastic quote here from the Toastmaster. Right after he says, in many ways it's flattering, he says regarding the cheaters.
Yes.
He says, unfortunately, this couple slipped through my hawk-like vision.
I really like him. I think that's so nice. He told the BBC that he says there was a little bit of stone doctoring. He said they had shaped it so that it was perfectly circular and fitted our 3-inch measurer. As it's a piece of metal, I don't think we can blame it too much. I think that's really funny. Don't blame the stone measurer. Okay, the stone measurer did its best.
He's trying.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been so it was first organized in 1983 and has been running consistently since 1997. It's run by volunteers, and the proceeds, I guess you have to pay in some way to do this. Sure. Support local community projects and charities, and last year it raised £15,000, which I think is actually quite impressive for an island of 60 people. Yeah,
I'll tell you what, that's more than Gravy Wrestling manages to get.
It makes Gravy Wrestling look like a fucking waste of time for sure. Are you guys experienced stone skimmers?
I'm okay at it.
Okay.
I definitely, when I was a kid, I went camping with my family sometimes, and that's a classic thing you do on a camping trip is you find some stones and you skin them across the lake, right? In Michigan, because I grew up in Michigan too, and in Michigan, famously, along with Minnesota is the land of 10,000 lakes, right?
Yes.
Famously. Michigan actually has more lakes. We're just not annoying about it.
Fuck you, Minnesota, you stupid lying twats.
Well, it's just one of those things where it's like, if you got it, you don't have to advertise it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I 100% heard you say land of 1,000 legs, and I was so desperately trying to figure out what that meant, but I get it now. It's fine. I should have used the context clue of
every so often what happens is the entire state is elevated on a series of legs and runs around on top of other states. It's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
really
they should really stop that. I don't think a state needs legs.
Just trampling Wisconsin underfoot.
Every time I throw a rock in a lake, it just goes to the bottom of the lake. And I think when people manage to make the rock jump up, I think that's magic. I think that's witches who does that, because that's crazy.
Well, here's the thing, Charlotte. You know what I think it is? And I don't mean to do gender here, but I think being good at stone skimming, and this is not to say, obviously Lucy Wood is the GOAT, so this is not a hard and fast rule. Everyone I have known who knows how to stone skim is a boy. Ooh. Only boys know how to stone skim, and they are born knowing how to do it. And if a woman wants to do it, she has to learn. And she has to be twice as good as the man, to get recognized. Lewis is great at every time we go to Lewis's mum's house, there is a pond in his hometown that you can walk around, and it's lovely. And we always come upon the same point in the pond, and he goes, "Do you want to skim some stones?" And he does it, and he gets like 7 or 8 skims or something. And I just go, splush. I think
you don't even throw
max,
the stone, you just say splush.
I just stand there going, splush.
You don't understand what's happening.
Looks like I can't do it. Let's move on.
I think that the fun thing about stone skimming is it's the wrist and elbow action that's required to sort of put the thing on it. It's not dissimilar from the motion of bowling.
Yeah.
Like with bowling, you kind of like flick your wrist at the end of the thing to get some spin on it.
Yeah.
And it's sort of the same motion, but horizontally when you're skimming stones.
Yes, interesting.
I'm also really bad at bowling.
Yep.
I want to just thank you, Libby, for giving me some gender euphoria after me saying I'm bad at finding a way to turn that into an ally moment. I thought it was really nice of you. So
you're so welcome, honey. You're so welcome. So actually, what Lucy Wood says about the technique is that the New York Times says contestants' techniques differs, so people do it in different ways. But she says that for her, the trick is in the fingers. It's the spinning. She says the spinning of the stone is what stabilizes it, which makes sense from a physics standpoint, And I realize as I say that I have no fucking idea what I'm talking about, but
yeah, it makes sense.
I can see it. Yeah.
I can't get any of this. I can't get the finger. I can't get the wrist. I can't get the flick. I can't get the throw. I can't get the power. I can't get the angle. I can't do any of this. And that's why it goes splooshed every time. I think I've managed to skim once.
Okay.
One skim.
Just one little jump, nothing else.
Yeah, basically. I want to look up and see if I can find what the record is. I know that the quarry itself is 207 feet long, which is quite long, and they have a marked lane with these like sort of things you put in the water to mark where a lane would be.
Yeah, there's lane marker, water lane marker things. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
we all know what Libby's talking about.
You know all about that. So they have to. Oh, here we are. Entrant Jonathan Jennings went on to victory last week as the contestant's first American winner. Hey,
wow!
nice?
There we go.
I didn't realize this was open to international competition. Okay.
Oh, loads of international competition. Yeah,
okay.
People come from all over the world to do this. He skimmed his stones a cumulative distance of 177 meters, which is crazy. You get three bites of the apple.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And they just add up the 3 tries.
I guess so. Yeah. I think it's very nice. And so we have our and Charlotte, I'm remembering now to use this when we do British Thought of the Week. I'm remembering to use our
special graph.
Our special graph, and I've put out a call on Blue Sky for anyone who really loves the podcast and is the sort of person who would edit a podcast Wikipedia to update this image with the things that we've done since we did these topics of British Thought of the Week. So we have our scale, goes from harmless at the bottom to harmful at the top, and then wonderful on the left to stupid bullshit on the right. I would put this right in the bottom corner, even below worm charming, as wonderful and harmless.
I think you're right, Libby, because there's the only thing we picked about worm charming that was harmful is like maybe it's bad for the worms, right? But everything else, but you can't be bad for the rocks, because as far as I'm aware, rocks don't have feelings.
It's true.
I guess
we're fucked if we find out they do, though, aren't we?
If rocks have feelings, oh my god, we are deep
we're
shit.
Done. Yeah.
But what are they going to do about it? They don't have arms and legs and stuff, so I think we're still in charge if the rocks can think, right?
I actually just learned about worm charming because we watched the worm charming championships on Traditional Scrunch the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it
Lovely.
nice?
It's delightful.
See the guy with a saxophone?
Yeah, he was great.
Put in the trombone right to the floor to get the worms to
phenomenal.
come out. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
It's good.
I really love that.
I was so impressed with like how systemic. Like some of these people just really had a whole fucking operation.
Yes.
They knew exactly what they were doing.
Yeah, no, completely locked in and like professional about it, and like doing it every year. I like that about the stone skimmers too. It reminds me of the cheese rolling champions who take it very seriously, but they're not, possibly dying from it, like people seem to do with cheese rolling. There is actually a documentary on YouTube called Sink or Skim, which I think was shown on the BBC at some point, which is all about the World's Stone Skimming Championship. So I'll put a link to that in the description because I for sure want to watch the whole thing. It seems really nice.
That sounds good.
Shout out to the Stone Skimmers.
I think
all I can say.
I actually want to amend my answer because just thinking about how fun and quaint the worm charming is, I do think that throwing stones is like it's nice, but it doesn't have the sort of like it doesn't have the fun factor. I don't think.
You're right.
So I don't think it's all the way. It's definitely in the wonderful square, but I don't think it's as far over as worm charming is. But it's definitely like the same amount of harmless. It's nice.
It's definitely more harmless, right? Yeah. Because as mentioned, just the stone. They're stones.
They're stones. They're not crying when they get sink to the bottom of that slate quarry. And one day, I suppose the quarry will be filled with stones that have been skimmed. And
the worms, on the other hand, they're all crying. We just can't hear it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no. They didn't necessarily want to go to the surface, and maybe when they get up to the surface, they're like, "Oh, great! I'm going to get like something nice up here. There's going to be, a chocolate bar or something. That's why I'm being called up to the surface." And they get up there, and then it's just some twat who's putting them in a bucket. So,
right.
Well, that was British Thought of the Week.
That was wonderful. And if you have a British thought you want to send us, it's whatsallthispost@gmail.com. Thank you to everybody who sent us that one, whose names we all said and everyone remembers.
And everyone remembers.
All right,
Shall we do our main topic? Oh, we talked over each other. Oh, we're so horrible.
We're so bad at this. We're both equally in charge, Libby. It's time for the main topic. And today we are talking about the television game show Only Connect.
That's right.
Josh, you brought us Only Connect to talk about today. Why did you want to explore the world of Only Connect?
So one of the things that I love most about British culture is TV quiz shows. And Countdown was on the list that Libby sent me as a possible topic. It's like, I could talk about Countdown. But then I started thinking about all of the other game shows that I really, really like.
Yes.
And I mean, there are some game shows where it's like, I like the concept and the format, but the actual show itself doesn't work. Pointless would be an example of that for me, where it's like, I really think that it is a clever idea to be like, what is the answer that is accurate, but nobody else would actually answer it?
Sure.
But the pacing is fucked. It's just watching these people forever talk about like nothing and then eventually finally getting to the question. It's terrible. And actually a lot of British quiz shows kind of have this pacing issue where there's just a little too much air between the questions. And what I want out of a good game show, I think Jeopardy is the platonic ideal of a game show where it's just the right balance, where it's almost entirely gameplay. You get a little bit about the competitors, but just enough. And I think that Only Connect is a show that manages to strike that balance, but it's a very, very different kind of show, to say the least.
Yeah, so we should try and explain what Only Connect is to people who have not heard of it before, because this is... I feel like I said game show and then you maybe said quiz show, and I think that there's a fun distinction there, because I do feel I think of this most as like, it's like the TV equivalent of the crossword, right? And I do think this is a pretty British thing. Countdown is big on this, right? So you can, like, the big thing about Countdown, the big timer, you've got a minute to solve the puzzle, or is it 60 or 30 seconds? I can't remember on Countdown. I think it's a minute.
30s. It's been a little
I
while
don't know. I'm sorry.
I'm just hearing the song in my head again.
It's probably 10 seconds now, and there's Subway Surfers playing at the bottom.
Yes, Charlotte. Yes,
that's probably
everybody.
how Countdown. There's probably like a bunch of comedians on Countdown now instead, to try and entertain you from how boring it is. Now, the thing about Countdown is that like you can play the game at home, and they will spend a whole minute or however long it is, whether you just watch the contestants do the puzzles silently so that you can do it yourself. And I do feel like Only Connect is very similar to that. So as I could think badly demonstrated at the very start of the episode in the intro, the sort of main game of Only Connect is that you are drip-fed clues. There will be 4 of them. And this is like the main format. There are multiple different formats, but they will fit. All 4 clues will fit into a category, and the game is, can you guess what the category is? And if you can guess the category before you've seen all of the clues, like if you can guess it just from the first clue, then you get 5 points. You get more points, and it sort of trickles on from there. There are different like versions of it. The other thing that's important to know about Only Connect is it's really fucking hard.
Yes.
Would you guys agree with this?
Yeah, I think it's hard. Yeah,
I would argue that it's not just hard; it's stupid. Most of the clues are intentionally abstruse, and based on extreme trivia.
Yes.
So you have to have a deep knowledge of trivia, and then you have to be able to do the lateral thinking that connects these clues, because you'll get these clues where it'll be like, because the first round is all of the things, like all of these clues have something in common. That is their Only Connect, right? But then the second round is a sequence, and you have to complete the sequence.
That one's fucking evil.
And it'll be like, oh yeah, these are the names of dogs of consecutive captains for the English national football team. It'll be like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah. It is. Okay, so the comparison point, I think, for a lot of American listeners will be the New York Times Connections puzzle.
Yes.
Which is a similar concept, and one that people complain about being too hard all of the time, and is yet much easier than Only Connect. A lot of the times the categories for at least 2 of the New York Times Connections puzzle will be something that you can just infer from the words themselves. Because you get all the words at once with connections. You don't just get like one word and then two words or whatever. But it'll be something like, like words for a bottle or something. And yes, I did look around my desk and see bottle and think, perfect. Perfect.
So what would the words for a bottle be, Libby, if you had to think of 4 words for a bottle?
Glug glug vase, sucky nice water, Coca-Cola hole, and of course, just hole.
Yeah.
Coca-Cola hole and hole.
Yes.
Yeah.
And actually the connections, there is then a round where they go to the wall, and it is just the connections puzzle. It's literally exactly that, where you have to group it up into those 4 categories.
Yeah.
There's always, much like in connections, there are words that could fit into multiple different categories.
Yes.
And then the final round of Only Connect is just words with missing vowels, or phrases with missing vowels that all are part of a category.
Right. Yeah, that's definitely fun. The other thing about connections is that you don't usually need to know any particular, like you were saying, obscure trivia to do it. Like, I got really mad at one, and I don't remember what the word was. It was a word for a thing in skiing.
Mm-hmm.
I keep wanting to say it's megalomania, but it's not. It's something that means something similar to megalomania, but it's a skiing term.
Okay.
I wish I could remember what it was, but it was one a while back, and I just had absolutely no fucking idea what they were talking about, And so
yeah, I do think this show is like, so all right. So it started in 2008, which I guess is when this like, again, I'm thinking of a new type of person. No, not new. This is a type of person that exists, which is the type of person who is like obsessed with Countdown or similar shows or doing the crossword or doing lots of different puzzles. That is like a huge part of what makes them a person, is being nerdy in that particular way. Like this is a show that I feel like is a direct result of like those people, right? Like, now if we can come together being that type of person, what is our perfect show? And that's the one that we're going to make. Like, it feels like it's basically, when I watched a bunch of episodes, I was like, this is just not a show for me. Like, occasionally I would maybe get an answer, but I was like, it's not like, I think Jeopardy is I agree it's such a good one, because it's like, because you're probably going to get the answer like half of the time and feel like pretty good and smart.
Oh, it feels great, yeah.
But most of the time I spent watching Only Connect, I was like, I'm so fucking dumb. Because there's another thing about it, which is that it will it offers the contestants, each round will have like 6 questions, and they'll have to pick a different hieroglyph.
I know.
To pick which question they're going to do. And so when I'm watching Only Connect, I'm like, which one would I pick? Well, I don't know what any of these are or what word I would use to say them. So if I was on this show, I would trip up at the trying to select a question part.
Fucking choose a hieroglyph. Yeah, exactly. I know. I was thinking the exact same thing. And when the guy said Eye of Horus, I was like, oh, right. I would have just said the eye. Can I have the eye? I wish it was all just like triangle, square, smiley face.
You know about the story behind that, right? Like, why it's the fucking hieroglyphs?
No, let's know.
Okay, well, so in the first season, they were Greek letters, and people thought that they got the feedback that was too pretentious. And so because of the fact that this is fucking Only Connect, they decided to make it even more annoying.
That is so... Okay, that is funny, and I do sort of respect that. By the way, I looked it up, and the word I was thinking of was mogul. So it's...
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Sort of related to me. You can see how my brain did that.
Yeah. But the bumps when you go skiing, the bumps. Moguls.
Yeah, I've never skied, so I don't know fucking shit. I'm too scared. What was I going to say? I was going to say that yes, it is hard, and I do respect a game that says, no, fuck you, this is a bit difficult. I do want to talk about the production value. I only watched, to be fair, look, I only watched one episode. So hands are up. I only watched one episode. I think it's really funny that at the start, the host, Victoria Coren Mitchell, says some little jokes, but there is seemingly no studio audience.
Dead air.
Just literally, she says some jokes, and not only do the panelists not laugh, there is no one in the audience to laugh. So she just says it, and then there's a little silence, and then she's like, all right, let's play the game.
It's so weird.
Insane. That would never happen on American television.
No.
You would never get something like that.
This is one of the reasons that I love it so much is how British it is.
Yes.
How, like, it's just, okay, that's a sensible chuckle, isn't it? Now we're going to move right on to the show. And I think I cannot lavish enough praise on Victoria Coren Mitchell for how she runs the show.
Yes.
Because she has to deliver these horrible jokes that are given to her by the writers. All of the jokes are the worst jokes that you have ever heard.
Yes.
She knows they're terrible, and she just fucking goes for it.
Yep. Yeah, no, she does a great job. I'm not sure whether I get compared to her a fair amount by Americans, and I think it's because our voices are roughly similar levels of poshness, and they say, oh, you're just like Victoria Coren Mitchell.
You're in a similar register, too, tonally, like where your voice sits.
Yeah, and, I think I can be a little, perhaps a little sarcasm.
Oh, yes.
Warning, sarcasm found here.
Oh, look out!
Now loading sarcasm. So, I assume that's it, maybe a bit. We do sort of look alike, maybe a bit, but I don't know. And so I've never known whether to be offended by
you're
that.
like a really cool version of her.
Thank you so much.
You're like her, but if she was like really cool. Like really crazy funny. And like,
I'm kind of the leftist Victoria Coren Mitchell.
Oh damn!
Let's go.
Victoria Coren Mitchell, the left. Yeah. No, I don't think that's anything to be offended by at all. I think that's high praise.
I don't think it is. I think it's that thing of Americans perceiving me, and I never know what to think about it. But
I've gotten compared to Matt Smith before, if that's anything.
I totally see that. Yeah.
I do see that.
Yeah. And that's, again, not a bad one at all. Not a bad one to get. I think I like her. I was. Do you know if she's a Tory or not? Is she a Tory?
I don't. She doesn't have. Do you think she has Tory vibes?
Yeah. Well, I mean, partly because of just how posh she
has. I think she has like Tory DNA is where I'm landing, right? Which doesn't necessarily
Charlotte's
mean
getting the calipers out right now.
Yeah, I think she raised in a Tory household and maybe picked up sort of mannerisms and sort of general sensibilities that I associate with people who are typically conservative. So, but looking at her, it's difficult to know. Exactly, but the question does come to mind. I think that's.
Well, I'm Googling furiously, and I'm not able to find any.
Okay, so
we've got an article here that she wrote. Okay, here we go. I think this will help. We are looking at an article that she wrote in The Guardian in 2010.
Okay,
and the head here is 2 parties for the price of 1. Count me in. And then the subhead here is. An alliance between Labour and the Liberal Democrats seemed like a wonderful idea, but Nick Clegg scuppered it.
Okay. Interesting.
And it seems that she. Well, I'm gonna. You go on ahead. I'll sort of see if I can synthesize the politics of this.
No, please, because before the show, I did Google. I started to Google, is Victoria Coren Mitchell and then it genuinely, I'm not exaggerating, auto-completed to, like, the Google suggested autofill was a Tory.
Yeah.
So it's a question that's on people's minds. I wasn't able to find, like, a really clear answer. Her brother, Giles Coren, is one of the most loathsome little pieces of shit on the planet, an absolutely disgusting fuckhead. That doesn't mean that she is at all. You can have a brother who sucks. But per Charlotte's comments about Tory DNA, she has the air of a possible Tory about her. And unfortunately, I have to say David Mitchell also occasionally gives Tory to me. Not in a way that, it's just the hands are up. I'm sure he said some stupid shit. He's had a Guardian column for a long time, so he's probably said some fucking horrible stuff. But
you know what? And now also, really reading the body of this, it looks like this is mostly just being like David Cameron sure is outflanking the Lib Dems and Labor at the same time right now. I think she's a Tory.
I think what she is the type of Tory that is smart enough to not talk about politics too much.
Right.
I bet when she's at home, she's reading maybe the Times, you know, and she's saying, "Oh, isn't it silly that they're doing this?" You know, she probably thinks things about political correctness. I'm willing to look, if she wants to send me an email and say, "Hey, I actually think buses should be free," and you know,
even this very article concludes with, "Is it too late for my mum to be prime minister?"
It sucks to write articles. Let me tell you what sucks is to write articles and have people read them 15 years later. That let me tell you, haunts me. I really don't want to think about that. But yeah, you know, we don't. It doesn't really matter. Here's the thing. I'm willing to say that the politics of the Only Connect host don't really necessarily impact our enjoyment of it.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think it is to sort of comment on her like as a host. I think she is interesting because she does one of the episodes I watched. I don't know how often she does it. Did begin with, you know, it's got the like lovely kind of like smart quiz music with all of the images of the hieroglyphs, and then goes in on her, and then she just looks right into the camera and says, "Good evening." And I'm like, you do not. Most TV shows do not start like this unless it's like the news.
Only Connect does. Yeah.
Only Connect and the news is basically
yes.
it.
It is weirdly austere for something that is allegedly a game. You know, to be fun.
Austere is a good word for just the general vibe. Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking in my head, I'm comparing it to QI because we just talked about panel shows on a previous episode, and QI is fun. It's obviously it's kind of an annoying concept, which is that isn't it lovely to be clever and to have gone to Cambridge and to have interesting things to say, and also a lot of them are fucking wrong a lot of the time. They just say stuff that's wrong. So wow, your Cambridge researchers are so great. QI, you just lied about some shit. So there is that sort of vibe. However, it's really fun. It's you know, obviously it's a panel show, so it's a comedy. It's lighthearted. There's, you know, silly stuff in it. Whereas Only Connect is also doing the thing of being like, it's good to be clever, and we're you know, we're sort of trying to be like, I don't know what the word is, like what's the highbrow to a degree? Not exactly highbrow, but pretentious to highbrow.
Definitely pretentious,
Yes.
and proudly pretentious, right? Like they love being pretentious,
right? But there's no like. You know, I'm not saying that I'm not going to say there's no fun to it, but there is this weird atmosphere of like everyone here is taking this seriously, and also we should say the contestants are just people who are good at puzzles.
Yes,
you know, they're not fucking, you know, Sean Locke and Joe Brand. They are just like some weird nerds.
Well, and again, this is another.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. This is another commonality that the game has with Jeopardy, where it's just rando and guys who are like. Genuine, honest to goodness nerds.
Yes, exactly, and are on there like they've done the work of becoming a successful nerd. I don't really know how they find these people, but
well, one thing that they do is that if they lose, they still get to come back on the show again, which does make me think that there is a limited pool of them, and they need to make enough episodes of the show that they're just going to be like, we're gonna bring them back on again because we need their heads.
Each season is a double elimination tournament that concludes in a playoff.
Okay, that's fun. I think this is definitely going to go into the rotation for me for like YouTube watching. I did really like the one that I watched. One of the categories was it wasn't just buttons on a controller, it was the position of the X button on console controller. So it was like,
we both watched the one that is the first one that comes up when
comes
you
up on
Google
YouTube.
Only Connect.
Yeah, absolutely, and I stand by it. But it was like, you know, it was like Switch left, GameCube right, or whatever. Oh no, it was the A button. I don't remember. Who cares? It must be X because it has PlayStation.
Is up. All I remember is that was one of the ones I got. And I was like, I'm smart in a gamer way.
GameCube is top, right? The X
GameCube
button, I want to say.
GameCube
PlayStation top. Bottom.
Right.
Switch is top.
Switch is the top, isn't it?
Switch is top.
Why is on the top on the GameCube?
Switch is never top. Switch is only a top sometimes.
Now that's good.
So versatile. See, I have two of the
Nice.
of the 4 controllers on my desk here because here's the thing,
me and
Charlotte,
Libby
is I'm a gamer.
we're the same fucking person.
Sorry, my controllers are in the other room.
Controllers on the desk.
Look, when you're a streamer, when you're a gaming streamer, you got to have all your controllers within easy reach. And in fact, actually, Charlotte, I'm gonna beat you here.
Oh, okay.
GameCube.
Hey.
No, I can't compete.
X
with that,
is on the right. X is on the right
X
on the
is right
GameCube.
on the GameCube controller.
And on the PlayStation, obviously, it's on the bottom. Anyway, I thought that was a fun category, and especially because, like, you know, other categories are so intellectual, and this one is like game controller. Where is X button to push to make man jump?
But to be fair, if you don't play video games, you would never ever know about it, and that's kind of that I think speaks well to the way that Only Connect questions work.
Totally.
Where in order to have even a remote chance at answering the question correctly, you have to have a pretty deep set of knowledge in the subject matter, whatever it is. Yeah. And the show covers a massive, massive array of subject matter.
The one that I watched, Charlotte, the music round, I was like, Jesus fucking Christ. Absolutely zero chance I would get any of these. Yeah. That's sort of like, this is always the trouble I have. I don't know if you guys are into bar trivia at all.
Love it.
I see. We have some friends that we go with every now and then, and we're weirdly good at it just because of the structure of the way that the one we go to works. We've come in first twice and then in second, and it's because you get to bet your points on the last one, and we've just gotten really lucky with that.
It's a bar trivia classic. Is the final Jeopardy right at the end, so you can just
exactly
it all in.
So if you get lucky with that question, you can kind of win. But I tend to really look. I'm not good at trivia. I don't have a very good memory, so I don't remember facts or my own name or the name of my podcast or what I was even saying at the start of the sentence. No, I'm not great at trivia, but the music rounds are always so hard for me because I don't know about popular music, you know, not in a good, I'm not saying this to be like, I'm not like other girls. I actually don't even like Taylor Swift. I'm saying that's like a hole of knowledge in my brain where I can't help.
When I was listening to that question, I was like, okay, so the challenge for me is name any of these songs.
Yeah, exactly.
And the actual question is know the name of every one of these songs and figure out why they are
what they have in common.
Which is
and sometimes the connect on the music round, because you've got these different songs and you need to know that usually not just the titles but also the artists, because the connect can be something thematic in the lyrics. It can be something that the titles have in common. It can be something that the artists have in common. It can be any of those things.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Too hard.
I think. Okay. I did see that because I've only ever watched Only Connect on YouTube. So shout out to the person who uploads all of the episodes to YouTube. That's a really good thing you do. It airs between Mastermind and University Challenge, which I think does say a lot about the kind of show that it is. Because those, again, I feel like we're definitely we were talking about panel shows and what panel shows could be possibly translated to the United States last week. I don't really know if any of these shows, this is just a genre of a show that I feel like it would be so hard to do over in the US.
Oh, Only Connect?
Or
and
any
Mastermind
of these
and University Challenge and Countdown, the smart people shows.
I mean, Jeopardy is the closest thing that we have to a smart people show, and I think that's the upper bound of what Americans are willing to tolerate.
Yeah, these are all very BBC. I don't know. The Only Connect has to be on the BBC, right?
Oh yeah, it's BBC
BBC Two. Yeah.
Because these shows are, I think if there was going to be an American version of these shows, it would have to be on PBS.
Exactly.
My understanding is we're not allowed to have that anymore.
Well,
we basically got rid of that. It's very NPR. You know, it's like, this is a...
Yes. I think the NPR comparison is useful, right? Because I think the closest thing that we have to a panel show is something like Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me on NPR. And I think that in order to have something like Only Connect, it's the problem is you couldn't do something like Only Connect on the radio. It needs to be on TV.
No,
and there's nowhere that you would put it.
There is nowhere on national American television where you can do something that is this, and I say this with love, shit. You know, it's just it has this vibe of a lot of British telly that I love has this shitness about it that you would never get away with. Escape to the Country is my number one example. Terrible show. They don't even tell you whether they're going to buy one of the houses. They go in there like that, you know, a long segment where they go and interview a local man who like has fucking bees or something. You know, like it. You know, the American shitness is a totally different type of shitness. American shitness is like UFO Cowboys, where it's like this is just outrageous and fake and stupid, and we're going to make it as, you know, quote unquote entertaining as possible in a way that is often not even entertaining, but it's just like what, you know, it has to be like 100% all the time. British shit television is like coma inducing.
It's so boring. And like that's one of the things that I love about Only Connect is how boring it is.
Yeah.
And maybe that's a weird, like, I don't know if that makes sense.
No, it does.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Look, I got to send you my article about Escape to the Country because it is It is the type of show that it doesn't have pretension. It's again this thing we talk about with Britishness where it's like life is kind of shit. And we're not going to lie to you about that. Like we're not going to say, you know, wow, this is the craziest thing you've ever seen. We're just wasting time until we fucking die. And we're going to do that with this couple that is looking at this old house where they have a weird telly for 45 minutes. And then we're just going to release you back into the world, you know?
and I think you're onto something with the American shitness thing too, because like we talked about on our show last week, Bar Rescue. We had Caitlin on Slow Puke, who I know you've had on the show as well.
Wow.
And I think that's a great example of how so many of those episodes are profiling Americans who are in dire straits, who are living shit lives, running shit bars. But there's this like optimism that they try to shove into it where it's like, by the end of this bar rescue, this bar is going to succeed. And it's so clearly not going to fucking succeed.
Never.
No, the like American reality TV and even with game shows, right? Where it's like if this person wins, they might win a amount of money that's going to change their life. It's like your emotions are being sort of dragged around the room and thrown at the walls. And with like the boring British shows, it's like, why don't you just sit down and have a nice think? And we're not going to make you feel anything. We're going to let you have a break from how you think you're going to feel when you usually watch TV. And that is
100%.
nice.
I don't think that Only Connect has a cash prize at all. I think you just win a trophy and the satisfaction of knowing that you've done it.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's the same with Bake Off, is you don't win anything for winning Bake Off in the UK. Now, obviously, you do, in a sense, win, like, the amount of fame that allows you to have cookbooks and stuff. But that's kind of true of most people who are on Bake, especially if you make it to, like, the final, like, 5 or whatever on Bake Off, you're going to get you're probably going to get, like, some kinds of, you know, deals or whatever. But it's a completely different, like, I don't know, like, format or incentive structure than having, for example, Jeopardy, where it's like, you know, the money is inherent to the show. The categories are numbers or amounts of money. Right. You know, it's like a completely different type of thing where it's like, this is basically just like a very kind of abstruse and boring pub quiz, you know? I don't know. I like it though.
I think I do like it, but it's one of those shows I probably I'm not going to watch because it like or not put into the regular rotation because of because of how dumb it made me feel when I was watching it. But then it does also have this like there's this other like thread that's pulling on me, which is if I watch more Only Connect, maybe I would get smarter. That does actually feel kind of true though.
It's a book.
It's a book. It's a television book. Yeah.
I've watched a lot of Only Connect, and I can definitely say I have not gotten any smarter as a result of watching it. That's good to know. I've only grown more frustrated. But I think it's also, you know how some people just really like games, like video games that are really fucking hard, right? Like challenge core games. That's my relationship with Only Connect. Because every question is going to piss me off, but then every once in a while I'm going to get one. I'm going to be like, I am the fucking smartest man alive.
It's the Dark Souls of TV shows.
It is!
No.
It's the most annoying thing you can say, but it is.
Yeah,
that rocks. Yeah. I relate to the feeling.
It's actually the Sekiro because you can die twice in it. There you go.
Charlotte!
There you go.
Charlotte, you've done it.
That joke really just for Libby as well.
And I love it. And well, probably quite a lot of people in the audience also.
Sure
If we had to guess, I guess I would guess maybe 70% of our listeners know about Sekiro. Cool. Well, I don't know, Charlotte. Do you wanna? Look, honestly, I want to rank Only Connect on our supermarket tier list so that we can play your Only Connect game because I really want to.
Yeah, because I did make it. Okay, yes. The one thing I did want to, because we talked about it a little bit, but I did want to sort of like go back to it because I do think it is interesting because I think is more likely that people will know the New York Times game connections before they know Only Connect, and I do think it is important to say sort of specifically, it does seem pretty likely that the New York Times just straight up stole that from Only Connect and have not said anything about that as far as we can tell. Right. Connection started in 2023 and then Only Connect in, like I said before, 2008. And if you watch the show, that game with the wall, it is just connections. And when I was watching it, I'd seen Only Connect before, but it'd been a while since I hadn't seen it since I started playing Connections. And I was like, this is so similar. It's kind of weird just to watch a group of people literally just play Connections because they have a little screen in front of them and they're just tapping away. The rules are ever so slightly different, but the format is exactly the fucking same. I did see, because Victoria did write an article in the Telegraph about it, and she said, I suppose if it were up to me, I'd want the New York Times to mention Only Connect on the same page as the Connections game. Even if it's just an honest accident, that would seem the elegant and collegiate thing to do, because that's the way that she talks.
Tory coded.
Yeah, that is okay. First of all, totally Tory coded. Second, this is a classic New York Times thing that on the journalism side, they will write up stuff that other people have reported on, and they will, and especially if it's in an outlet that is more like a digital media outlet or not a newspaper, it's not Bloomberg, or even if it is somewhere like that, they just won't mention it, even if someone else got to it first, and you have to yell at them on Twitter to make them mention it. This is exactly an example where it's even if this was somehow parallel thinking, and you just came up with the game from Only Connect, and you independently, you gotta be like, oh shit, well, someone came up with the same thing as me. I should probably mention it, so at least I don't look like a huge fucking tit, I mean,
even the fucking presentation of it with the colors and everything, it's so similar.
Yeah.
Fucking classic New York Times.
Yeah.
Fun game, though.
It's extremely weird that they have not said anything about that at all. To at least do a little pretend. But yeah, it's I know I shan't be playing Connections anymore because it's not just because it's too hard for me, and every time I do it on stream I feel even more stupid than I am. But now
the New York Times thinks that they don't have to do this stuff because they're like, well, we're the New York Times and we are the most important thing in the world, and we are basically the only source of journalism remaining in the world, and that's good. Actually, that's good if we're the only place that produces journalism in the world. And never mind if people only pay for us because of fucking the cooking app and the Wirecutter and Connections and Wordle and fund our horrible fucking journalism. Anyway,
and now the Mini. Now they paywalled the Mini as well.
They paywalled the Mini?
They've gone and done the Mini?
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Outrageous.
They've taken the Mini away from us. It's
fuck the New York Times.
It's nasty.
Fuckheads.
Okay, well, we need to figure out how much we like Only Connect by placing it somewhere on our British supermarket themed tier list, with S tier being Waitrose, A being Marks and Spencer, B Sainsbury's, C Tesco, D Morrison's, E Asda, and F Iceland. Louis, let's start with you. Where are you going to put Only Connect?
Well, I would say, having watched most of one episode of it and really enjoyed our conversation about it, I think that it's going off what we were saying about this being part of the great British tradition of stuff that's not that good, but isn't trying to trick you into thinking it's better than it is. I think this is a solid Sainsbury's to me. It's better than Tesco. It's not Tesco, because Tesco is like, what is the quiz show that is Tesco? Now I've started down this path, and I'm trying to think. It's something that's worse than Only Connect, maybe Pointless, because I kind of find Richard Osman really annoying. I'm sorry about that if that's not the right opinion to have.
Also, it takes way too long between the questions. It's too slow.
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and say Sainsbury's. Good, but not great.
I was also thinking Sainsbury's for this one. I really like that the smart people have a show like this, you know?
Yeah.
And I do think that
good for them.
I do think that, like, I would really like to see for me, I'd like to see the dumb guy version of it. You know what I'd like? You know what I would go crazy for? Only Connect Kids. I would love. That would the version of Only Connect where they simplify it for children. That's the version that I would, and it's smart kids, but I feel like I can play along. That I would love. That would probably be a Marks and Spencer's for me. And then, but I think for the actual real Only Connect show that actually exists, I'm happy it's there. I'm happy it's doing its thing. I'm probably not going to watch a ton of it, but I do like it. It's Sainsbury's for me. Josh, where do you think you're going to put it?
So Marks and Spencer's was A tier. What was directly below that?
Sainsbury's is underneath. That's B tier.
I'm putting it at A tier. I'm saying Marks and Spencer. I mean, obviously, I came with the topic, so I have said my piece. And here's what I'll also say. Libby, if you end up watching more of this, I think that you will find that your estimation of the show will continue to rise. It's one of those things where the more you watch, the more it pisses you off, like Dark Souls.
Yeah.
But the more of an appreciation you find for how annoying trivia is and why it sucks.
Yes.
And I am somebody who loves trivia so much. And so there is no better feeling / worse feeling than going through an Only Connect round where the question's like, oh my God, what is this? Some fucking shit about like politics in like the EU that I don't know about. And it turns out that it was actually states in the United States and I somehow completely missed it. Like that's the Only Connect feeling. And if you're a sucker for pain, which I am, you're going to have a good time.
Okay, yeah, I'll sort of treat it like the Vicar Amelia of game shows, and
that's what you should do. That's what you should
see
do.
if I can get around to it. Well, that was Only
first
Connect.
Try, but that's fine.
I
didn't need to say that, did I? I shouldn't have said that. All right, it's time for Charlotte's game. Okay, before we actually get into it, though, I am going to include the point from the intro round here. So
yeah,
I think so Josh, maybe you can answer this question for me about how the point system works, right? Because
yes,
Libby lost it on the first clue, which meant you got to steal. Does that mean that you get the full 5, or will you get the 1 because you saw all of the answers?
I think I don't remember. I think I get 3. I don't know. 3. Okay, give me 3. Yeah.
Hey, you just got 3. Libby doesn't like that. Libby's not happy with that, but that's okay because Libby's going to get to go first. So we are playing my version of Only Connect, which I'm calling Only Charlect. Okay.
Oh, look at this!
We're playing Only Charlect, and so instead of listeners, you won't be able to see this. But instead of hieroglyphs, we have emojis. So you'll get to pick, Libby. You can either have hedgehog, pregnant lady, high visibility jacket, second place medal, onion, or chair. Which one would you like?
I think I'll have to be doing onion, please.
All right. We're gonna do onion. I click on onion. So here's your first clue. Bill Maher.
Okay, so I mean, obviously this could be Cunts I Hate. Could be HBO guys. Could be Charlotte. I think I have a guess, but I want to see the next one, please.
All right, let's see the next one. Richard Dawkins for 3 points.
Oh my God. Okay. Peanuts. People with peanuts for brains and penises. They have these two men both have peanuts instead of penises. I mean, look, obviously these are like both like rationalist guys. But I'm gonna have to see the next one, I'm afraid.
Okay, the next one is Louis C.K.
Okay.
I forgot to establish the theme of the game. Okay, because only Charlotte instead of only Connect. I should have done that earlier, but that's fine. The theme is that it's all stuff about me. Okay.
Oh, of course.
Every character is stuff about me.
I have a guess.
Should have said that earlier. Sorry, I forgot. But no,
that's fine. And I think my guess has not changed from before you said that. I have a guess. It is now cancel people or now twatty people who you previously liked.
The fourth clue was J.K. Rowling, and the answer was people I used to think were really cool. People I
Charlotte,
used to think were really cool.
I was lying in bed the other night thinking of the time I watched Louis C.K.'s special and laughed so much.
Yeah, I went to see him live.
Sorry.
It's fine. Okay, Josh, you're next up. We've done Onion. What would you like?
On Onion. I'd love to go with Hedgehog.
All right, let's do Hedgehog. So the first clue, ITV West Studios driveway.
Oh my god, I have no fucking idea. I'll take the next clue, please.
This is quite a hard one. The next clue is single bed shared with two boys.
Okay, next clue.
Okay.
This really does feel like Only Connect, by the way.
Okay, the next clue is plastic bottle thrown in the bin.
Oh my god. I know what this is.
Libby knows it? I'm going to have to ask for the last clue.
Okay, the last clue is swimming pool.
Yeah, I got nothing, I'm afraid.
May I steal?
All right, I guess that means it passes over to Libby, right?
Yeah.
These are places that you have pissed.
Places I pissed I wasn't
supposed to. Nice.
Oh, Charlotte, that's so good.
Okay, so for a little bit of clarity here, ITV West Studios driveway. I was running up the driveway and I pissed my pants because I really needed the toilet. And I used to take acting classes here, TV acting classes. So I knew there was a toilet there and I didn't make it in time. Single bed shared with two boys. This was on a school trip, and I had to pour a bottle of water over my crotch and be like, "Oh no, I poured water on myself," and it was a bad situation.
Aww.
Plastic bottle thrown in the bin. Not going to explain that one. Swimming pool. Everyone
pretty
does
self-explanatory.
that, so that's fine.
Really, really good, Charlotte. That's wonderful.
Libby, it's your turn.
Can I have the medal?
You can have the second place medal. Okay, so
Can I
your
have the medal,
first clue is zebra.
Zebra, and it's something about Charlotte. Okay, I have a guess, but I'll take the next clue.
All right. Next clue is bee.
All right. In that case, I have no idea. I was going to say things you've eaten, but that's not you haven't eaten a bee, have you? That would be insane to have eaten a bee.
Pretty crazy.
These are things with stripes, but that doesn't help because that's not about Charlotte. I guess I'll take the next one, please.
The next one is crocodile.
Okay, I'm going to go with things you've eaten.
And the final one was pizza. The answer was things I've eaten.
Why'd you eat a bee, honey?
Why do I eat a bee? I know it's crazy I ate a bee, but I did. I went to... I
don't know why she swallowed a fly. Perhaps she'll die.
That's why you don't swallow flies. That's why bees is only safe.
Why did she eat a bee? Perhaps it was she needed a pee. ITV Studios driveway. On her way to acting class.
So I ate 3 of these things at the same restaurant in London that is now closed.
Okay.
It was just a restaurant that sold unique food items.
Okay.
I might have eaten kangaroo while I was there as well.
Okay.
This is not. I wouldn't eat these animals anymore. I eat very few animals, but it is a thing I've done. So here we are.
All right. Well, that's nice.
All right.
Well done, Charlotte.
Josh, what would you like to do last? I think you have pregnant lady, high-vis jacket, and chair left.
I will go with pregnant lady.
Okay, pregnant lady. Martin.
Okay. Next question, or next clue, please.
Second clue is bum fluff.
Libby, do you already know this one?
No, I'm just really laughing at the word bum fluff.
Yeah. All right, next question, or next clue, rather.
Next clue is the beast. Martin?
I gotta say, you have really captured the writing of Only Connect questions. This is
Thank you.
Really fucking good. Because
I thought this would be
no
easy to
idea
do. It
what's
was
going
really
on.
hard.
Yes, it is.
It was really, really hard to do. And I had to, the reason these are all about me is because this was, for some reason, the only way I could like think of only connect questions.
Yeah.
I guess I'll take the last clue here.
The last clue is Gids.
Yeah, I have no
Gids?
fucking idea. What Libby, you got anything?
Yeah,
Libby?
my guess is going to be that these are all nicknames that Charlotte has been given.
Ooh, unfortunately, no, but you were so close. It's stuff I call my cat.
Of course, Gideon. Oh
It's-
my god,
yeah,
that should have.
Gideon.
Should have
I really
been
thought
a giveaway.
I really
young
thought
man.
you were gonna get that. That's why I kind of changed it to Gids at the last minute. But yeah, Martin, Bumfluff, Young Man, and Gids.
Young
those are all-
man.
It could be
And
young man.
actually, I called him Young Man at the top of the call before we started recording, and Libby made a note of how nice it was that I called him Young Man. So I changed
told
all
you.
the answers in the
no.
quiz to Young Man because I was like,
I
to
don't
do
remember
that.
anything. I told you.
know.
I don't know who you are or why I'm here.
Okay.
All right.
Next one, Libby. What are you going for? I think
I've
high vis and
already
chair, right?
Yeah, I'll do high vis.
Okay.
This
First clue
is a
is Dark
sequence
Souls
one.
3.
Guess the fourth.
And this is a guess the fourth one. So I'm going to give you're not guessing the category here. You have to guess the fourth one in the category in order to get the
so
points.
this is the second round where you have to complete the sequence.
This is inspired by that.
Okay. I'm going to assume that the category is the order in which you played Souls games. And so I think maybe you did Dark Souls 3 and then fucking Dark Souls 1 and then Bloodborne and then Elden Ring. So I'm going to guess Elden Ring is the fourth.
Wow, you're going for 5.
It is not Elden Ring as the fourth, which means, Josh, you get to see the other two.
Okay.
So the sequence is Dark Souls 3, Bloodborne, Elden Ring. What is the fourth?
Demon Souls?
So close. The answer was Dark Souls 1, and it's from Software Games in the order I beat them.
Can I just say how good I am at knowing what the categories are?
It's almost as if we do a podcast together and
It's
you know me
almost-
quite well.
It's almost like we're friends.
We got the sort of a friendship vibe going on. Hey, Libby, do you want to hang out after this? Do you maybe want to get a drink? I feel like we could be good
Sorry,
pals.
I actually have to go. I have to go.
You
I think my cat
just
is
have
sick.
to go.
I have to go because
Oh.
my cat is sick.
Anyway, I'm really looking forward to hanging out with you next week when you're here in Toronto. I wonder how many
right, I
times you're
have
going to
to-
use that line on me.
I have to go back to my Airbnb because my cat is sick.
Which I think means, Josh, you have chair, right?
Yes. Yeah,
All right.
a chair.
It's time for chair. First one is Chartjackers.
Okay, next clue.
Second clue is Lily Allen and Friends.
Next clue.
These are all things that only I would know. By the way, like this entire quiz is so weighted towards me.
I know.
It's actually
that's-
insane.
This is just all I could come up with.
I love this format. I really do.
Okay,
the
third
gadget
clue
show?
is the third clue is the Gadget Show. So we have Chartjackers, Lily Allen and Friends, and the Gadget Show right now.
Kind of want to do only Libect on my stream and make my friends do a quiz about me and find out
Good
who
idea.
is my favorite.
Shows you've been on.
The correct answer, and you get 2 points for it. The last one was BBC Breakfast. It's TV shows.
Very
I
good.
have been on. It's TV
Very
shows
good
I've been
indeed.
on. Really, really good stuff. Okay. I had forgotten about Chartjackers until this morning. I will talk. So I went on BBC Breakfast when I first became popular on YouTube, and when that was a thing that was interesting enough to put on the news.
Mhm.
I went on the Gadget Show because they were like, "We'll look at this YouTuber, and we'll just do a feature about the YouTuber," and that was fun. That was quite nice.
Look at this YouTuber. A good segment for the podcast. Look at this YouTuber.
Look at this YouTuber. A lot of, all of these are just look at this YouTuber. Lily Allen and Friends was Lily Allen's talk show that was not good. And I think I sent in a video for, and that played.
That's great.
Chartjackers I put at the top because it's the most obscure one and it is crazy, but this is a television show I made. I forgot about this. And guess what channel, and then this can be for an extra point because it's a tie, guess what channel Chartjackers aired on?
This is actual, this is an actual TV channel. This wasn't just like local public access.
This is a TV channel that both of you would know, yeah.
I mean, I know you had a Quibi show, but I also don't think you would have forgotten about your Quibi show because you talk about your Quibi show all the time. So I'm going to say this is a British channel.
I love bragging about my Quibi show because it's such a cool thing to brag about having a Quibi show, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's something
so
everyone
cool.
knows what that is and thinks is good.
Yeah, exactly. And famously, people love Quibi. I'm going to say it's like UK. We talked about UK TV Gold, but I don't think because you would have mentioned that when we talked about it. So let's say this is Dave.
Josh, you got a guess?
I don't know, like ITV3.
Great pitch.
You guys are both you think too little of me.
Oh.
What is the TV
Channel 4?
What is the TV channel the fucking Only Connect airs on? Yeah, that's right. Chartjackers went
Beep
on
2?
BBC Two.
You had a
fucking
BBC
crazy?
Two show?
Hell yes.
I had not only did I have a BBC Two show, I forgot about it. I forgot it existed.
That's crazy.
No, so this week we're doing for the finest episode, we're doing Charlotte's YouTube history, and I've decided after I remembered that Chartjackers existed that this week's YouTube history will be about Chartjackers, and I will explain to you what Chartjackers was. It was me and 3 other YouTubers trying to crowdsource a single so that we could get into the UK charts.
I understand.
So that's what we did. Oh boy, I got some stories about that. So I'm excited for that. But that will be
I can't wait.
Later in the week.
I will be sipping
that
that tea.
It is a draw right now. It is a draw, which means so Libby, did you come up with a question?
I do have a question.
Okay.
So
let's say if I get this right, Libby gets a point.
Great. I don't see any problems with that.
I think that's fine.
I don't have the music on mine because I'm not very good.
That's okay. But you also made a little thing as well, which is cool.
I made a little thing, yeah.
All right, I'm going to put the music back on. And you'll only be able to see the little thing on the video version of the podcast as well.
Yeah, patreon.com/watch all this then. We're going to watch all this then tier. Who's doing this? Is this Charlotte?
I could do it.
Yeah, let's do this. All right, Charlotte.
And this is just anything. There's no overarching
There's no theme
category here. No. Okay. So first one is Chris. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to see the next one.
Cuthbert.
Oh, I know what this is.
Yes.
This is names of Colin the Caterpillar Cake knockoffs.
I changed it. Look at how I changed it. I got them backwards. I had Colin 2 and then I put Colin 1.
Okay, well, do I get it? Because I said knockoff.
Yeah, you get it. You get it. It's the caterpillar. They're all caterpillar cakes.
The caterpillar cakes. Okay.
Josh, do you know about Colin the Caterpillar?
I don't.
Well, it's a really ugly cake from Marks and Spencer's that everyone is obsessed with. And the other supermarkets started doing knockoff versions that all had C names. Like, for example, Cuthbert, which is Waitrose. Or is it Cecil, actually? Cecil is Waitrose. Cuthbert might be like Aldi.
I think Cuthbert was Aldi. Yeah, that was a good
Chris.
one. What else did we got? Oh, we got... Okay. The co-op one is just called Charlie's Chocolate Cake at the co-op, which sucks.
That's
fucking dick. That's nothing.
Previously known as Curious Caterpillar Cake.
Okay, Poundland. Chris is at Poundland.
Chris is at Poundland. Wiggles is at Sainsbury's. I like that they didn't do the alliteration on that one. I really do hate the Morrison's
Wiggles
one.
is a better name for a caterpillar anyway.
Because it wiggle. The Poundland one is half the price of the Marks and Spencer's one, or at least it was in 2023. Who knows what Joe Biden has done to the prices since then? But they all look like shit. They are all so ugly, and I really hate them, and I've never understood them. I don't appreciate Colin nor any of his horrible cousins.
Wow, I like a Colin the Caterpillar Cake personally. I like to eat the head. I like to eat the little chocolate feet. And it's just like a it's like a Yule log, but it looks like a caterpillar instead, ultimately. And also during early COVID, my partner at the time, it was my sister was living with us, and it was my sister's birthday. And so Emily, my ex, made my sister a custom Colin the Caterpillar cake for her birthday. And put so much work into it, and it looked really, really good. And it was exactly what my sister needed at that
That's
difficult
so
time.
nice.
Yeah, it was really, really nice. It was such a nice thing to do.
I want you to find a picture of that and show me if you have one.
Yes, I will. I will definitely send you one, and that will happen at some point. But that is it. I guess Libby wins based on the arbitrary rules. But I mean, Josh, you did great. Given
Thank you.
Like what Libby was saying, it really is just like how well that quiz was. How well do you know me?
Literally met her this morning. Well, Josh, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
What would you like to plug?
Well, we do a show called The Worst of All Possible Worlds. It is a pop culture and media criticism and review podcast. And we talk about pop culture and media, all sorts of stuff. And we are going to be having you on pretty soon to talk about a certain video game that was mentioned in this very episode.
Can we just say what it is? Can we? Because
we certainly can.
Because the thing is, it's like, because we're going to come on your podcast and talk about Bloodborne, which me and Libby both fucking love, and also is one of those things that like. It would be fine for us to be like, we're going to do a What's All This Then episode about Bloodborne because it is so British, but it's also like, that's maybe like a episode 200 thing where we run out of ideas. And like when we haven't done an episode about like the Queen yet, we probably need to get to that stuff. But I'm very happy we'll have a venue. Me and Libby will have a Bloodborne venue. And I'm really, really looking forward to doing that.
I'm so excited to have both of you on for that. I have been... So I've never actually played Bloodborne. I am now doing my first playthrough.
Whoa.
And
It's easy, right?
Yeah.
It's
so
easy
easy.
game.
Video games are easy.
Yeah.
I'm finding this very simple. Yeah, absolutely.
That's right.
I also co-host a podcast called Ill Conceived. It is a podcast about natalism, the political movement that sees declining birth rates as the most important issue facing humanity, basically. I do that with my friend June, aka Juniper on social media, June Sternbach. We have more fun than you might think, considering how fucking shitty the subject matter is that we are talking about. We sort of try to, make as light of it as possible because these people like suck and are annoying. Well, maintaining a certain amount of gravity about like, these people are trying to make the world a much, much worse place.
Yeah.
So we try to do all of those things all at once. And then, of course, you can find me every Monday and Thursday from 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern time on the traditional Scrunch on Twitch.
A very fun stream. I went on it a while back. And I had a great time doing High Street Review, which I adore to do. Very... Very good stuff. Thank you so much, Josh, for coming on. It's so good to collab with people in the field,
Yeah, collab. And I do actually, real quick, I was like, well, shit, I should have brought a question for Only Connect, and I brought you a sequence.
Josh!
Oh my god.
You've spoiled us.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
And this is a great reason for people to keep listening right until the end of the podcast. Because I
Absolutely.
know you motherfuckers don't.
Because I've got a wonderful sequence for you right here. And we're just going to be like, whoever gets this first gets it first. All right?
Alrighty.
Sounds good.
All right. So let me know when you're ready for the first clue.
I'm ready. Okay.
What?
The first clue is what's. I don't know, man.
I couldn't begin to imagine what this is going to be. This is hard. So I think
What could this possibly be, right, Libby?
Is it things that sound like my last name because my last name is Watson? Oh God, I don't know. I think I'm going to have to see the next clue.
All right, we'll take the next clue.
Okay. All right. Okay. This is confusing because this is a different
word
word than the first one. The first one was what's, but this is a different word, which is all. So now I have to think of some other stuff about all. All. New York Times crossword. They often they use all, the thing that pokes in the ground. That's often a clue.
Libby, this is so embarrassing because I like totally know what this is.
Oh, you know it?
I actually know it.
Charles,
but
do you
I
want
think we
to try to
just
complete
need.
the
No,
sequence?
I think we need to. Let's just lead Libby down the road. I want.
All right,
I
I'll
want
give you the
Libby
next
to be able to
clue
get it because
here.
I feel so bad.
The next clue is this.
What's all this? Okay, so this rhymes with vis, which is how I say visceral and Bloodborne. It's the stab attack that you do that feels really good to do. So maybe it's things that sound like things I say about video games.
Well, it's a sequence. You have to complete the sequence, right? So that's kind of what do you think the fourth word might be in this sequence?
Oh Lord, okay. I suppose it might be Digby.
What's all this Digby?
What's all this Digby?
What's all this Digby?
That's what I was thinking.
Charlotte?
I know I've got it. It's definitely what's all this Digby. So let's
What's
see
up?
Digby on the board.
It's them.
What's all
it's
this
the
then?
name of the podcast.
It's like the name of the podcast that you can support on Patreon as well if
my
you want to
God,
listen
you
to
can?
bonus episodes. Yeah, we have a
Wow.
bonus episode. I'm going to talk about chart jackers in the next bonus episode. Or you're going to want to listen to that. And if you want to support the show and get ad-free and also get video episodes as well, it's patreon.com/what's all this then. We're also on Blue Sky and Instagram at what's all this pod. And if you want to send us a message, if you got an idea for a British thought of the week, or if you want to tell us that we just did a good job on our podcast, it's what's all this post at gmail.com. Thank you again, Josh, for coming on the pod. That was a delight.
I had a delight.
See you later, guys. Hey guys, see you later. See you
Bye-bye.
later, guys. Bye bye.
Bye bye now. Bye bye now.
What's all this then? What's all this then? What's Mr. B? What's a cup of tea? What's mushy